We were surprised, actually, when you have athletes competing at this level, and anytime you get a positive test, it's always a surprise, it's a shock. Now it's up to the Athletic Commission to do their research, their investigation, and I think the burden is on Canelo to prove what the circumstances are, and depending what the commission rules, I think they have to volunteer to do a lot more testing just to make sure what the situation is.
Do you think he took that on purpose, that substance?
Yeah, it's not really for us to speculate. That's the job of the commission to do their investigation. They're the sanctioning organization or the body, or they're the athletic commission that's overseeing the fight. So the regulatory agency, that's what it is. So it's really up to them and the responsibility to protect both fighters and to make sure there's no unlevel playing field for either side.
Tom, what fans are really worried about is the fight. Is it in danger for being canceled?
I think it depends on the circumstances. Look, Triple G has wanted he wanted the first fight for a long time. It took like 2 years to make that fight, and he wanted the rematch right away. He wants to get back in the ring with Canelo and prove who's the best middleweight, who's frankly the best boxer in the sport of boxing. Both Canelo and Triple G are at the top of both pound for pound in the ring and most marketable outside the ring. Gennady wants the fight. We just need to make sure about the circumstances and make sure that both sides are on the same level.
Tom, just looking at the sports side, your entire team, how worried are you guys about this news? Just that Canelo might have an advantage.
Well, again, it's one of those situations that we have to ensure that what the circumstances were. If they can prove that it was from meat from Mexico, that's one circumstance. But I think the burden is for them to prove that and to make sure there's any additional testing. That's the whole point of the VADA testing. Abel Sanchez always insists on the testing just so there's no question about Gennady's power. We're up here in Big Bear, California, so there's no question about his conditioning, his stamina, and because he had 23 knockouts in a row, Abel always thought people are going to suspect his power, and so he always wanted to make sure that the testing was in place to make sure there's no questions about Triple G, and that's why both sides had agreed to the VADA testing for this time, and we just. From our side, we want to make sure everything is on the same level.
And we recently just read an article about Abel saying that Canelo is getting some breaks from the commissions, also about the judges, but especially about the taping in the hands. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, it was Abel's position. I mean, Abel's an expert on the hand reps. He's probably repped as many hands as anybody in boxing, and he feels that the reps that were used that night weren't according to the rules of the Nevada Athletic Commission. He's never seen those type of reps with different layers used in anywhere that Gennady's fought, whether it's in Monte Carlo, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in New York or California. You can't use those multiple layers of reps, and so when he tried to protest it, it wasn't heard. So this fight, he wants to make sure either that the rules are followed for the reps, or the rules are changed to allow that type of taping. So we just want to go by the rules. We want to have a fair playing field. We want both sides to be able to rap the same way and follow the rules, and that's all we're asking. And again, I think that's the job of the Nevada Commission to rule one way or the other and to really enforce their rules.